What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar, and today we're going to be talking about some more costumes that I made for Smash. Oftentimes in the past, I will talk about costumes that somehow have a reference or, actual origin for the character that makes sense. Sometimes it'll be some kind of obscure reference to something from a character's history, or I'll reference a party member or another character that's similar, or I'll bring back an old costume. But they usually have a genuine reason to look that way, and it's not just some idea that I kind of pulled out of my butt. But inevitably, I just end up getting suggestions for things that would never really be made a costume in Smash. But I wanted to appease all of those comments and make a few costumes that would just simply be impossible for Smash to actually have. So first, let's start with everybody's favorite anime character, and that is, of course, Hero, or specifically Erdrick, as Goku. Now it's kind of split down the middle whether people think that this looks more like Goku or Gohan, and I mean, I can kind of see both sides of the argument. But regardless, I have had so many people talk about making a color that's based on the Goku Gohan gi that I just had to make it. Now obviously some liberties had to be taken, but I think I did an alright job. I think the shoes in particular are pretty good because of basically being the same color scheme as Goku's shoes. And then of course Goku and Gohan don't really wear capes in the same way that Erdrick is wearing one, but you kind of got to work with what you got here. I'm not trying to change the character too much, but I think I kind of nailed the color scheme pretty well, and I'm actually pretty proud of how I handled the crown at the top, because normally that is just a green orb, but because we're messing around with Dragon Ball, I went ahead and kind of turned it into a Dragon Ball. Of course, it had to be the 4-star ball, but I think that that's I'm gonna pat myself on the back here a little bit. I think that's a pretty clever thing that I threw in there. Now obviously you can't reference a Saiyan without referencing a Super Saiyan, and so that's exactly what this costume does. It's pretty much exactly the same as the one I just showed, except for the hair of course is blonde, and I changed the eyes to be blue, or bluish green I guess, and that's because that's really the only thing that changes when one of the characters goes Super Saiyan, so that's really all that changes. Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Virtual private networks let you surf the internet securely, ensuring your online privacy and protecting your sensitive data. Whether you're a world traveler who wants to connect to your favorite sites wherever you are, or you're concerned about your online privacy, or you just want to watch the greatest anime weeb show by connecting to Netflix Japan, Surfshark has got your back. Surfshark gives you an unlimited number of devices to use on a single subscription, so you can browse on your phone, your PC, your tablet, your smart refrigerator, all completely safely. Surfshark can alert you when your information has been potentially leaked to help you stay ahead of hackers. They let you search privately to avoid all those trackers and cookies, and best of all, you can try it risk-free with Surfshark's 30-day money-back guarantee. And if all of that doesn't sound like enough, using my code down in the description will give you a 3-month free trial, and when you decide you love it, an additional 82.999% discount. But they've gone ahead and rounded it up to 83% just for you. A huge thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video, and let's jump back in. Next, let's keep it in the Dragon Ball family and switch over to the Luminary, who I have turned into a color scheme for Trunks. The reference for this is definitely more on the vague side. I mean, you can obviously clearly tell there's supposed to be something, especially when it comes to the hair, but the clothing just doesn't match up. Luminary just wears such different clothing from Trunks that really you're just kind of matching up the color scheme and hoping that the reference hits right. I think I did okay. Aside from Trunks' jacket, he mostly wears black and dark gray, so I think that, having that be accented in the underclothing that he wears works really well. I tried to make Hero's whole jacket purple, but that all being one color definitely didn't look good on the eyes in my opinion, so I made the accent where the leather is, I made that more black than it was brown, and then of course there's purple. Not much more to say on that one. That one was just kind of, well, I'm doing Gohan, Goku, I may as well do Trunks too, because people ask for that reference all the time. Next, let's get more into the meme category, which is another type of costume that is requested all the time. We're gonna start simple with a very basic Mario recolor, and that is SMG4. SMG4 or Super Mario Glitchy 4 is a character YouTuber that is very, very popular on the internet. I am sure at some point you have seen this Mario color scheme somewhere, and that is a reference to that. Frankly, I don't know a ton about what goes on with SMG4. I mean, I don't even know if the description I gave him was accurate, but this is the costume that I just knew I had to make if I was going to do anything for Mario, because this is just so popular. It's a bit on the straightforward side, but I knew if I didn't do it in this video, it would get requested for, you know, a potential future video, so I just had to do it. But what's not straightforward and simple is the next Mario costume, which I'm sure some of you are already thinking it. Granddad! That's right, I made Granddad, which if you don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't know, but this is a reference to the very funny Vine Sauce Joel video in which he played basically a bootleg copy of a Flintstones game, but instead it said 7 Granddad on it, and Joel just freaked out, and it just became an internet meme. And, you know, mods have been made for this back in Smash 4, that's how old this meme is at this point, but you know, I haven't done it for Ultimate, and I think that it's funny. And honestly, it looks kind of scary. Like, it's one thing to have Mario be in these colors when he's like in a pixely 8-bit style, but when you take a 3D render and color it that way, it just looks rough. It looks like Mario had, like, especially in the eyes, it looks like Mario had a very rough night of partying, and now he's headed home to sleep it all off. It's just, it is a little scary looking, I'm not gonna lie. And we are nowhere near done with the memes, because the next one is Donkey Kong. This originally came from the game show Jeopardy, in which the final Jeopardy clue was a video game character that's blue, collects rings, and goes fast. And clearly that's Sonic the Hedgehog, but this woman guessed Donkey Kong. So not only did she get the wrong video game character, but she spelled the video game character she was trying to say incorrectly. So, of course, that got, you know, just taken by the internet and turned into a meme, and they made Donkey Kong blue and made him, you know, just look all bug-eyed, and he usually has rings. I couldn't figure out a way to make the rings look good for this render, but he normally has like a couple Sonic rings with him. But this is Donkey Kong. Very simple, but I think it's very funny. The final meme that I have made is the one and only Sonic Chew. Now, going into everything that revolves around Sonic Chew and the person that made him is just going to be impossible. I mean, this person has dozens of hours of documentaries about them on the internet. So all I will say is this person was named Chris Chan. They now go by Christine, and she created Sonic Chew as a sort of OC and created a bunch of comics, and it sort of became her mascot, I guess you could say. So it has become a giant meme. I guess if you know, you know, but it's just too funny not to make, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And last but not least is the Joker. Over, of course, Joker. This is something that has been referenced time and time again. People have made fan art and recolors of Persona 5 Joker being the real Joker. And, you know, while it is done to death, I wanted to have my go at it. This one is specifically based on like the comics and the TV show cartoon Joker. The only difference is, of course, that I gave him a little bit of the blue paint that comes from the Joaquin Phoenix movie, because it just looked a little empty without it. But I think that this looks really good, so I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. And speaking of Joaquin Phoenix, I made one based on Joaquin Phoenix's take on the Joker, which is very different, but also very vibrant, and I think that it looks really good as far as Jokers go. And then, of course, I think that the color scheme worked really well for this Joker render. So there they are, the two Jokers side by side together. And that is, of course, it for this video. If you guys have suggestions for any impossible costumes that I can make in the future, please let me know, and we may have another episode on our hands. But for now, this is everything that I was able to come up with, and that is what I'm sticking to. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, and please remember to be good to one another.